Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report, because without you guys, this just doesn't work. And apparently, neither does the internet. My phone, everybody and their sister kept text messaging me, sending me emails. They were putting up signal fires on what's going on with Dez Bryant. And it literally, my phone got hot as hell, thought it was going to melt, and just had to shut it off. I'm actually back here at my man cave, and I'm trying to see if we can actually get a live stream signal up and running here and see if any of you guys want to talk about the situation that is Dez Bryant being gone from the Dallas Cowboys. Let me put my glasses on here so that way I can see. Well, I see we've got Dre the Great. We've got Dallas Cowboys Productions. How are you guys doing? I'm just wondering how everybody is reacting right now to people owe Joe Boo an apology. Oh, they don't owe me an apology. It's okay. I know, it's one of those things that you don't want to think about. It's like, we all know we're going to die, okay? But we don't want to think about it. It's like, no, I don't want to believe that person's dead. No. You're not going to die. I mean, I've seen people on their deathbed. Listen, a great friend of ours ended up having cancer that came out of the middle of nowhere. He was in the hospital, and he's telling people, I'm going to die. And everybody's like, no, you're going to be fine. You're in denial. And everybody's like, oh, my God, Dez Bryant said, I'm going to see you guys 2 times a year. Really? You guys are worried about that? Come, guys, let's go back to last year for the New York Giants. Remember how all the talking heads were going off and they were saying when they signed Brandon Marshall, oh, my God, the Giants got Odell Beckham and Brandon Marshall? They're going to be unstoppable. They've got everybody. That offense, man, they're just going to be throwing it over here, throwing it, boom, touchdown after touchdown, and they're a Super Bowl favorite. You're not going to be able to stop those guys. Be afraid, NFL, be afraid. And I said, wide receiver wasn't their problem. Basically, you were trading Victor Cruz for Brandon Marshall. Your production wasn't going to be that much more. I said their problem was their offensive line. You've been better off getting a stud offensive lineman in there to protect Eli Manning. And what happened? They got the number 2 pick in the draft. Everybody said, and that's where everybody's saying, no, Mark, you're just a Dez Bryant hater. I'm not a hater. Stop that crap. I am a lover of my Dallas Cowboys, and we keep doing the same stupid crap and expect a different outcome. Stop with this, you're a Dez Bryant hater. Because the reality is you can't spend $16 million on one guy and get the production that we have had over the last 3 years. And I don't care if you want to blame it on Dak, if you want to say it's Dez, whatever. The connection's not there. Somebody has to give. And you got a quarterback that's making less than $1 million a year. You got a wide receiver who's having a hard time staying healthy. Because everybody says, oh, well, his production wasn't good because he was hurt last year. He admits he was hurt. It doesn't matter why the production wasn't there. The bottom line, it wasn't there. And everybody keeps thinking, you got to have a great wide receiver. We got to draft him number 1. Bull. Your Super Bowl teams this year were both led by the tight end. Look around at all of the teams with great wide receivers and tell me how many Super Bowls they're winning. You've got Antonio Brown, best wide receiver in football, with the Steelers. Excuse me. And what have they done since they've had him? They've been in the playoffs. Are they winning Super Bowls? No. They were winning Super Bowls when they had, guess what? A defense. That's right, a defense, something that this team has been lacking. Now, all you guys that are out there saying, I'm no longer a Dallas Cowboy fan, they've done it, they pushed me over the brink. I heard the same crap when DeMarcus Ware was cut. I heard the same crap when we didn't re-sign DeMarco Murray. You'll still be here. You'll get over this. Understand. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I appreciate it. We're going to enter you guys for our drawings that we'll do tonight. All these super chats are appreciated. It's definitely going to help us make sure that our draft event is going to be something to talk about. Michael Anthony Fitness is going to get fit. He's going to work out. Me and my fat ass, we're going to stay here online.
And I'll be putting out a video later, too.
And he'll be putting out a video. But guys, understand this. Okay, listen. If they make him a post-June 1st cut, we have $12.5 million. Do you think if we end up getting Zach Martin signed for a long-term deal, or getting Dak Prescott or Zeke long-term, or if we decide that we're going to bring in some other players to make our defense better, are we better off by addition, by subtraction? Because when Jason Hatcher wasn't re-signed after having 11 sacks on our defense, and DeMarcus Ware, who was never a distraction, was both let go on a defense that was 32nd in the NFL, guess what happened? My phone is literally blowing up here. I've got everybody in the city has been trying to get in touch with me. And that's part of the reason why my phone just literally melted down. It was just like, enough. We got it. Dez Bryant. And I was trying to tell everybody, listen, everybody, I got it. I know Dez has been cut. I'm trying to upload right now, but you're slowing me down. Okay? We got it. But when we lost DeMarcus Ware and we lost Jason Hatcher, and throw into the mist, Sean Lee got hurt. Our defense went from historically bad, not being able to stop a high school team, and improved to 19. Not world beater, but you don't expect the defense to get better losing a DeMarcus Ware, a Jason Hatcher, or Sean Lee. But what happened was we didn't rely on one or two guys. We relied on 11 guys there collectively. Don't say I didn't tell you. I've been saying this since that game that Dez Bryant melted down. You cannot have that on the field. Because here's what happens. And you guys can hate me. I don't care. You don't want to face reality, but this is the reality. What happens with Dez Bryant is you have to get him involved early, or else you're going to see what you saw in that game, where he's sitting on the sidelines on his knees there like, F this. I'm not blaming him. I applaud the fact that he wants to be the difference maker in the team winning. He wants the ball. So that way he can try and help a team win. I'm not faulting him for that. However, when it gets to the point where it becomes a distraction, where I got to say, damn, I've got to hurry up and get the ball to Dez Bryant, whether he's open or not, so that way he's involved, it changes the way you coach the game, the way you game plan. And it also ends up being that the other team knows, let's make sure Dez Bryant doesn't get the ball. If Dez Bryant doesn't get the ball and he loses it, that means they're going to try even harder to get him the ball. You see where I'm going with this? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like one of those things that no matter how much you try and get him the ball, they're going to try even harder to make sure he doesn't get the ball, which means the other guys aren't involved. And, of course, surprise element is no longer there because we are trying to force the ball to Dez Bryant so he doesn't get pissed off. And he does. And in that game, what happened? He's on the sidelines, losing it, got his head kicked back. Coaches aren't talking to him or anything. Nobody's trying to calm him down. Get the ball to him. What happens? He gets the ball out there. He's holding it like a loaf of bread, and he fumbles it. And we lose the game. Hate me. I'm okay with that. I got plenty of people out there that hate me in this channel. I'm fine with that. But you don't want to face reality. And here's the problem with our Cowboys. We keep thinking that if we have the highest priced talent and everything else, and we have 6 or 7 Pro Bowlers, that we're going to win a Super Bowl. Because in the end, that's the only thing that matters is winning the freaking Super Bowl. But you lose one or two of those guys, then you're the Cleveland Browns. We didn't have a quality backup in a game plan when we lost Tony Romo in 2015 after being in the playoffs the year before. You see my point here? When you talk about winning in football, New England never has this kind of problem. And I hate to keep using New England, but see, New England is the standard bearer. A team that keeps going to Super Bowls after Super Bowls after Super Bowls every year. They must be doing something right. I know they sold their soul to the devil, but they're doing something right. And what's funny is they don't hold on to anybody except for Tom Terrific. How many retirement ceremonies do you ever see in New England? Ain't nobody staying there for their whole career except for Tom Terrific. When it's time to get paid, we're going to trade you the year before, and we're going to get some draft picks to replace you. Yes, I believe in Dak, Antoine. Yes, I do. Because here's what happens. Here's the proof in the pudding. You had a rookie quarterback starting his first couple of games there. And Dez Bryant was out, the game changer. But you know what Dak Prescott did? He found the open man. Whoever was open was getting the ball. And when Dez Bryant came back and they weren't making the connection, he said, when Dez is open, I'll get him the ball. And by doing that, it was pick your poison. And also the offensive line was better. That helped as well. He wasn't getting sacked 9 times in the game like he did against Atlanta. This year, it was like we were trying to force the Dez Bryant situation to make sure he got the ball as opposed to when he was open. And so when you have your quarterback who's been running for his life, he throws the ball and it bounces off your wide receiver's face mask, you get kind of flustered like, damn, where else am I going to put it? And at the end of the season, when Dak Prescott said, I see Cowboys legends in here, I knew the hate was going to flow because he just calls me a coward because I thought when the team was just losing it all and there didn't look like there was much chance for playoffs, that I questioned whether it would be better if we lost a few more games, had a higher draft pick, and got rid of Jason Garrett. If that makes me a coward or a bandwagon fan, then so be it. Because I support the Cowboys and I want to win a Super Bowl. And last year was not going to be a Super Bowl team. There was only one team last year that was satisfied, and that was the Philadelphia Eagles because they won it all. You think New England is happy just because they made it to the Super Bowl? No. They're doing what they have to make sure they win next year. And that's why they traded their number 1 wide receiver to get another draft pick. So be that as it may, Cowboys legend. Okay? Wayne Smith, thank you very much. It was a football decision. And well, how you doing? Here's the thing with Jason Witten. I agree. Jason Witten is not the playmaker that he used to be years ago. He doesn't have the speed and so on. He's still got some mentoring that he can do. He has still earned the right to kind of go out when he wants to go out. Talking about a guy who played with his mouth wired shut. We're talking about a guy who had to sign a waiver because his spleen was ruptured. Do we need another tight end? I am all for it because tight ends are the end of everything. He still can catch, he can still block, and you can use him in situations. And they redid his contract where it's even less of a cap hit. Okay, we're talking about, I think, a $4 million cap hit for him versus a $16.5 with Dez Bryant. Now, again, I don't know how they're doing if they're going to make him a June 1st cut, in which case they get $12.5 million, or if they're going to take the cash today and get $8 million. I'm okay with that as long as they're going to use that money productively. But like I said before, you couldn't ask him to take a pay cut because basically you were starting a powder keg. If you asked him to take a pay cut and we had a situation like in that game where it's a meltdown, it's going to be ugly. It's like I took a pay cut and I'm getting trash and I'm not part of it. It's just going to be bigger. Now, some of you guys are worried that, oh, my God, Dez Bryant said, I'll see you twice a year. Oh, my God. You mean Dez Bryant is going to be maybe with the Redskins or the Giants or the Eagles? Oh, my God. Come on, man. You know how many players of the Cowboys have gone to the Washington stinking Redskins? It's funny because even they joke about how bad the Cowboy players come through. As I was riding home and listening to Doc Walker, shout out to Doc Walker and all them. Doc Walker, he is a Redskin, but he's actually a realistic one. He'll tell you when the Redskins stink, and he's always telling you that the Redskins stink. Former Hog. Actually going to see him this weekend with Ken Harvey is having a charity golf event where it's Cowboys versus Redskins. So Bill Bates, Flozell Adams, Tony Casillas, Steve Berline, Billy Joe Dupree is going to be there, Darryl Green, Ken Harvey, Doc Walker, Mark Mosley, and they're doing this thing for charity. We're going to be there and get some more autographs so that way we have some more giveaways and stuff from some Cowboys legends. And not to be confused with Cowboys Legends 27. I'm talking about real Dallas Cowboys legends. Like I said with the Giants need offensive line. They don't need wide receivers. The Eagles, they already have enough to worry about without Dez Bryant. So I'm not going to be any more scared of the Eagles with Dez Bryant. The Washington Redskins, nobody from Dallas ever pans out playing for the Redskins. Redskins, they're pretty dysfunctional. Not that I'm not saying that we aren't, because this whole situation was handled terribly. Jordan Miller, you're 100% right. The only way he'll land with a team in the NFC East is he's basically pays for nothing. He's not going to get $16 million anywhere. And part of that is not Dez Bryant's fault. Part of that $16 million is because we restructured his contract. His salary was actually $12.5 million scheduled this year, but because we do what we always do, restructure people. It changes the cap number down the road, which is the thing I said. You can't restructure them again because you're just kicking it down the road. Sooner or later, you have to pay for it, a la Tony Romo. Still $9 million right now. That's right. Tony Romo, still $9 million right now. Didn't play it all last year. Only played a series the year before, but we're still paying $9 million on the cap. If you ever want the Dallas Cowboys to be able to win, we finally have to break the cycle. And this cycle didn't just start here with Tony Romo and Dez Bryant. This cycle started a long time ago. Guys like Marion Barber. Wasn't even a full-time running back, got a $50 million contract. Miles Austin, one good year. One. Had a history of hamstring issues, but big-ass contract. J-Rat, the last really good defensive lineman in the middle that we had, big-ass contract. DeMarcus Ware, he was worth it. DeMarcus Ware was, he was a standout guy. Tony Romo's contract. Tony Romo, he's a quarterback. Got a big contract. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Quarterbacks' numbers don't go down. They continue to go up. Sam Bradford just got $20 million on literally one leg. He's going to have to be put in bubble wrap just to get off the bus. And that number is going to continue to rise. When Dak Prescott gets his contract, it's going to be higher, and we're going to look back and say, damn, Kirk Cousins is a bargain now. But because we had those contracts and we were over the cap every year, about 20, 25 million, we just restructured. That's okay. We'll do what we want. We'll get these guys and we'll try and make a run. Yeah. And that's why we are always in cap hell. And a team like New England, you ever hear about them having to restructure people because they're over the cap? Do they ever seem to have a problem signing somebody? They always seem to have money. They always seem to have a lot of draft picks, but yet they're always in the Super Bowl. That's management. So, Dez, that's the savings right there. There's other places. This is not finished if they're smart. There's other places where you're going to look at and the team's going to have to start clearing up money. You've got a quarterback and a running back you have to take care of. You got to figure out if DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be the long-term answer. There's other guys who should be looked at the same way Dez Bryant was. Tyrone Crawford. Love Tyrone Crawford. Tyrone Crawford has a Joe Boo t-shirt. Nice guy. He's steady, but his contract, the hit is $9.5 million. And part of that, again, is because he had to restructure so we could get some cash. If he's a post-June 1st cut, it's $8.5 million we save. So all of a sudden you start looking at $8.5 million there, $12.5 from Voodoo Alpha. It's easy to cover Dez. Well, I agree with you. Too easy to cover. And that's the problem. And I don't think that you need a superstar wide receiver. I will take a stud offensive lineman than a wide receiver. Because I know if we have a stud offensive line that we can run the ball, the wide receivers are going to get open. Take a look at it. I did this analogy before, I think yesterday. When you look at the Giants when they won that Super Bowl in 2007, they didn't have – Plexico Burress was their number one wide receiver. They had Eli Manning as a quarterback. Nothing special. What they had was a great defensive line. Their cornerbacks were average at best, but they could get to the quarterback. They caused turnovers, gave the offense a short field. And that's why I'm saying, okay, Dez is gone. We save some money. Fantastic. Fantastic. We got some money. Let me rephrase that. I'm saying fantastic that we got the money. I'm going to miss Dez Bryant. I liked his intensity. I love throwing up the X and everything else, and I wish him well where he goes. I said the same thing about DeMarcus Ware. Maybe he'll win a ring with somebody else. Maybe he'll go to New England and do what they do and get that ring. I'd be happy for him. But I know in my heart we can't keep paying $16.5 million to Dez, $17.5 million to Tyron Smith, $9.5 million to Tyrone Crawford, $17 million for DeMarcus Lawrence, $10 million for Sean Lee, and before it was $10 million for Jason Witten, another $10 million for Travis Frederick. You get six guys, and all of a sudden you've got about $75 million of your cap. You still got about 45 other guys to pay. That means you're just getting guys off the street corners in front of Walmart to put in your team. They're going to have to play valuable minutes. You can't do that. And I know this hurts. I know you guys are hurting. But it's the natural order of things. They let Emmitt Smith go after breaking the record. You notice they waited till after he broke the record and said bye-bye. DeMarcus Ware they let go. Murray they let go. So what was it about Dez that made you say that the Cowboys feel they can't live without him? Don't know. I don't say I didn't tell you guys. I said this from the end of the season that Dez Bryant was not going to be on the team next year. Well, the coaches, here's the thing. The coaching staff got what they wanted because from what I've been hearing from people is Scott Linehan, who seems for whatever reason, and I'm not sure why he has so much power, got what he wanted. He wanted Dez gone. The new sheriff in town, Stephen Jones, you knew, I told you guys, look at his body language. When he was talking about Terrence Williams, surgery and everything, yeah, he's going to be okay. Yeah, he's going to be fine. How about Dez Bryant? We'll have a discussion with Dez Bryant in the near future. Like, whoa. It's like, can somebody bring me a coat? It's kind of chilly in here right now. And he kept putting out there hints, production, sideline, cost. It was all these reasons that he was setting you up to let you know he was going to be released. Well, here's the thing, Sam. You're right. Sean Lee does get hurt. But that's what you have to understand about football. Football is about being able to change on the fly and adjust. If you know you have, like we did with Tony Romo, that you had a quarterback that was going to get hurt, you have to plan for times when you don't have them. You have to understand that, okay, we got Sean Lee, that when Sean Lee plays is one of the best linebackers in football. But we need to have a guy ready to go when Sean misses those 2, 3, 4 games. And the same thing with Tyron Smith. Hey, Tyron Smith, when he's healthy, best guy in football. But we need to have a quality backup guy behind them. We can't just go ahead and say we're going to get a Chaz Green and figure he's going to be okay, even though Chaz Green's never stayed healthy. So you want to talk about people that can't stay healthy, talk about Chaz Green. And that's, my friends, is the problem we've always had. We get our TOs, we get our high-priced talents, our Ferraris and everything. But then the guys that we need that actually have to win games for us, we spend chump change on it. Our defense, we spent chump change on for years. We don't believe in the number one technique guy. No, we're going to want to waste a pick on that guy. We don't value him that high. Oh, yeah? Randy White is in the Hall of Fame because he was the anchor of that defense. Russell Maryland was the anchor of that defense that won you 3 Super Bowls with Leon Lett. Hence, we haven't had anybody in the middle the last 20 years, and what have we done? Maybe you might start thinking that maybe that guy, let's try something different. Maybe that guy is a difference maker for our team. Because therein lies the problems, guys. We've been soft in the middle. It's amazing how everything has just been blowing up. My Twitter, my Instagram, my emails. Good Lord. So this is just kind of like a preview for tonight, so I know everybody is just going crazy. I wanted to get on here. I tried to do this while I was out and about, but literally everything is jammed up from this. Sergio, I think Tyrone Crawford might be a June 1st cut because you look at it like this. You brought Kona Ely in, who's on a 1-year prove-it deal, who you might figure, okay, he's only $2 million. Tyrone Crawford's $9 million. You got Taco, who got 3 sacks. Tyrone Crawford got, was it 4 or 5? With twice the minute. So you might say, okay, we're going to try and work with Taco. We got Ely there. So maybe we'll try and see where we go with this. So that's those things you look at. Now, we got one less wide receiver. We still have quite a few. Cole Beasley might be another guy that they think, that's another $3.5 million if you end up drafting another guy. So it's not about having 7 or 8 really great guys. It's about having a roster full of players that can play valuable minutes when you need them. It's the depth. Oh, Sergio, I can't wait. We're still working on stuff together, and oh my God, this thing just keeps getting bigger and bigger. We're working on getting the T-shirts and stuff made up right now. Actually, as soon as I get the proof, I'm actually going to put them up on the site. So if you guys if you're really interested in getting a shirt, if you go on my website, the picture right now is of my other shirts. But if you go ahead and order those, I don't have any more of those other ones right now. We're just doing the draft shirt right now. But if you want to get one, I'm making the order now, and I'm ordering 75. If I'm going to need more, I need people to kind of start, let me know. I don't want to order 200 and I only use 50. But I'm ordering 75 so that way the crew and everybody has some and we have some to give away and things. But if you definitely want to get one, go to my site. The price will still be the same and stuff for them. And hopefully you'll still have some left when we get to the draft. But the draft is growing like crazy. My man Michael, who's in Afghanistan, is going to be back. He's going to have his RV over there. He's bringing a guy who is a tailgate chef. He's going to be helping because he's like, look, Mark, we want you to be able to meet, greet, and talk. We don't want you to have to worry about burning everything on the grill. We want you to be able to spread the mojo to the fans and stuff. So when we get set up there, we're going to have that 14-foot projection screen TV. We're going to have the tailgate going on. We're going to have the grill, chicken wings. We're talking about briskets. We're talking about black and blue sliders. We're talking about having my man Law Nation, my man DMV, Dallas Cowboys, although I had to kind of bitch slap him a little bit because he didn't think they were going to cut Dez Bryant. Got my man E2 Blue. We'll have Vosh there. So it's going to be really, really big. Sorry if I'm rambling there, Joey. Just kind of filling in space. Do I think Earl Thomas could be in play? Yes. And I think something could happen definitely at the draft because Seattle may see somebody that they really, really want, and they say, you know what, let's make a deal. Let's pull the trigger. It's great to say I want a number one pick, but look what the Giants had. The Giants could have gotten number one for Odell Beckham. But they're talking about, we want 2 number ones. And now I bet they're sitting there right now with like, okay, we got a guy who said he's not coming to camp unless he gets a new contract. We could have had a number one draft pick to go with our other number one draft pick this year. And now what do? They asked too much. So Mike Fisher seems to believe that he would give the 50th pick, our third-round pick for him. Excuse me, second-round pick. That he would give up his second round. I wouldn't go quite that high. I'd go with the third-round pick. Or maybe a third round and maybe a sixth round or something like that. I think that they would rather work out something than not. Because, again, that's another guy that said, I'm not playing next year without a new contract. And I don't think they really want to do that. Yeah, listen, let's not trash Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant did a lot of great things and stuff for us. In fact, we're going to pour one for our homie Dez Bryant. All right. Looks like Joe Boo's going to need a new bottle. It's going to be a long night. Need to go ahead and go out to the stove. Let's not go ahead and trash Dez. Wish him well. Thank him for everything that he's done. Thank all these players for what they've done because it's a thankless business, and they literally put everything on the line. Dez has played through injuries. Dez has given it his all to this team. So, don't hate. Sergio, I don't know if Jerry Jones has a plan or not. I'm hoping that somebody else other than Jerry Jones has a plan because Jerry Jones has been doing the planning for the last 20-some years. It might be time for somebody else to do it. Well, like I said, I know that a lot of people are mad. People were mad with DeMarcus Ware going. There's some really good wide receivers that are there. I wouldn't take one in the first round. I still think if Vita Vea or Will Hernandez is there, you take one of those guys. I want to see a linebacker. I want to see another safety. I feel good about Xavier Woods. I feel good about Kevon Frazier, but I still would like to have some experience there. So, yeah, it's just time to move on. Christopher, listen. Look at New England. What wide receivers do they have again? Julian Edelman was hurt last year. Gronk, he's always hurt. It's not about those wide receivers. Think about what we did in 2016 with a great offensive line and Zeke Elliott on the field all season. We get that offensive line going. We get Zeke Elliott out there with his head right, opening up holes. Guess what? Teams are going to put 8 men in the box. That means it's going to be single coverage on everybody else that's out there. Don't sleep on Hearns. We're going to be okay. All right? As Doc Walker from the Redskins, who I'll see this weekend, always said, I lost with you. I can continue to lose without you as well. And I'm sorry. In the time we had, even in the best of years, we didn't win even when Dez Bryant was perfect. When there was a connection with Tony Romo. And what I'm telling you is because we paid too much attention to the deep ball, to Tony Romo lighting it up, and we didn't have the defense to win. Watch your teams that are Super Bowl teams. It's not always about throwing the ball 50, 60 yards down there for the big completions. Sometimes it's not even pretty. It's the defense we need to focus on. So with that, guys, there's over 400 of you that are on here right now. I hate to kind of leave, but I got to take care of some stuff. But we will be back on tonight at 9 o'clock. Everybody who did a super chat on here today will be I know you're pissed, Trey. There's nothing we can do about it. But everybody who did a super chat, we're going to enter you for a drawing. The Dak Prescott's going to be a different drawing, though. For that one, you have to go to cowboyjoeboo.com and enter there, or if you go through the PayPal up on the top button, there's a blue P that's up there. You click on that, you can make a donation, because the super chats won't actually get till next month. It's like a month away. The donations will go directly, like right now, and the thing about that is then we're able to use that for this event right now. So that's why it's actually advantageous for the donation button as opposed to the super chats. I'm trying to make this thing bigger by the minute. So as always, guys, don't leave. I got to, man. It's 3 o'clock, man. I actually got to do some work on getting ready for the draft trip. I've actually got to go pick up some more stuff, equipment and things for that. I've got to make some phone calls about the parking situation. I was wrong on the parking. It's parking lot H, not A. A is actually where they're building the new Texas Ranger station, so it's actually over by Walmart. And if anybody happens to be able to go by, if you can find parking lot H and give me a few pictures from there so I can see what it really looks like and find out. What I'm finding out is a lot of the NFL experience is going to be in the parking lots that are around the stadium, so you're only going to be able to park so close. Right now, it's parking lot H, unless I'm going to talk to my buddy Walt from Best for Business, and we may end up being in a commercial business parking lot instead. But I'm working on that, so that's one of those things I need to do. But guys, thank you guys so much for the support. It's going to be okay. Don't lose faith. Next year is going to be a good year. I can feel it. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Joe Boo, and we'll see you at 9 o'clock Eastern tonight. Thank you guys, as always, for watching.